It's Monday morning. I wake up and I decide to check Hoyle Lab for my daily check-in on my phone before I go to work. And then there, on the front page, what do I see? This! Just kidding, I saw Scaramouche, but we can pretend this is the first thing I saw. I saw this and went, what's this? Someone's OC? Oh, no, it's another basic light blue-haired character to add to the list of characters that I don't care about. I have never cared for the designs of characters, such as Ayaka. They all just feel the same, lacking almost basic. Even out of all these characters though, at least Ganyu has like that red. I think that really helps make her design a little more interesting. But Faruzan definitely has the plainest design out of all of these examples. Everything from the color scheme to just the design itself is far more simple and far more boring than even all these other ones. So I thought, why do I not care for this newest design, Faruzan? I started to try and break it down and thought, hey, why don't I take a crack at it and see if I could improve this to my own liking? So the first thing I noticed about Miss Faruzan here, there was like an extreme lack of contrast. And so this skirt is like the only thing that catches my attention when I squint my eyes. I think that's kind of the first problem here, is the color palette is just all too monochromatic. And the fact that I think she's going to be animo, and so especially paired with her element, her color scheme is extremely monochromatic. And I mean, we have characters such as Kazuha, for example. He's animo, except his color scheme is like reds and oranges. And then you get that splash of green and it really just pops really well. And so I think that's where they excel in the character designs, is when they have nice contrast like that. Whereas Miss Faruzan here has pretty much no contrast. I do like that the fact that one of her eyes is like a slightly different colored triangle in the middle. That's sort of interesting, but I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna notice that unless they zoom in and really take a good look. And just to be clear, I'm not saying that it's bad to have a monochromatic color scheme or even a very simple color scheme, because I mean, look at Diluc for example. He's got like 2 colors, well 3 if we're counting like black and white, in his entire design, yet it still, I think, looks more interesting than Faruzan's design, for example. If you squint at it, it's got plenty of contrast with the white vest thing and his extremely pale face contrasted against this dark coat and the dark everything else. And then this bright red to just BAM in your face. Same with Amber. She also has a fairly monochromatic color scheme with the browns and the reds. However, we've got the breaking up of the shapes with the skin and the white. Whereas, let's take another look at Faruzan here. There's pretty much nothing breaking up her design except for that skirt. And this like scarf thing, which we don't really see. Maybe if we did see the scarf thing, it would actually look better, but just from this particular picture, there's really nothing breaking that up in comparison. I think also the bright background, which is like the same color, kind of helps make it less interesting. Another example of a fairly monochromatic color scheme would be Lisa, even though she has this nice light brown throughout her design. I guess you could call it kind of a goldish beige color, which really stands out against this purple, and even her element is purple as well. And so this is an example of how they did it right with having the character and the element be the same color. I don't think that's really the problem. It's just when it's all the same color, except for tiny little bits, it's just very uninteresting. Whereas Lisa, again, contrast. If you squint, you've got these really bright whites with this pretty much black and dark purple. It just looks really nice. Another thing I noticed was the shape language. You've got lots of these X's, crosses. However, it's really odd because we have so many of these X's and then suddenly there's these round. So let's see here. The first thing that I had an idea to change is the hair. I think it would already start to look a lot better if we grabbed one of these dark colors from her skirt and matched her hair color to that. So already I think this is looking better because, and even though we've only changed one thing, I'm already liking this design a bit better, even though it's still super basic. But if you squint, there's way more contrast. The dark hair frames the super pale face and contrasts really nicely with this light white outfit. And then it ties together with the skirt. And I would also want to change the eye color. I'm gonna make multiple different versions here. One is gonna be kind of like a bare minimum, like, hey, we're keeping the exact same thing but changing a couple colors. The other is gonna be like a kind of a redesign almost. So just now I selected all the gold and I just bumped up the saturation a little bit, and you can already see how much more that brings to it. It really makes that gold pop instead of blending in, because before it's just a very dull, like beige gold almost. I think it looks much better with just a bit more of a saturation boost. I also changed the eye color to be a little bit darker. I know they were going for like sort of an iridescent look, like how they have with the skirt down here, so I kind of tried to keep that by doing a blue and a green. Admittedly, it's very saturated just because I used the same layer as the hair, so I might go in and fix that, but I'll probably play around a little bit more with that in a little while. So I fixed the hair a little bit to look better so it wasn't so dull. Oh, hang on. That's how it was before. This is how it is now. And I also fixed the eyes to make them brighter, to match these jewels more, so then they didn't like blend in with the hair. And then the next thing I did was give her some tights. I think it makes her look a little more like a Genshin character because they often seem to have these tights. I couldn't decide whether I kind of wanted them to just be like sheer bluish gray tights or if I wanted to go all the way, but I think it looks good just kind of a faint color to sort of break it up. And for the shoes, I thought I could either go and make the straps darker. This is how it was before. Couldn't tell before because of the pale legs. So I made the straps darker, or we could go the other direction and make them lighter. I think I actually prefer the black because it matches this on her dress more. So I think I'm just gonna keep them darker like that. But I think already I like this design a lot better. If I saw this character, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. So here is a before and after so far. Before. I think this design stands out so much better, especially against that background. Like, you cannot see her hair against this background. With and without the background. Ta-da! So, here's my design versus the original. I'm liking mine, but maybe I just don't have a thing for the excessive amount of pale blue-haired girls. I don't know. And then here it is without the tights. So basically this is just changing colors and not changing anything about the actual design. I think I like the tights better. I think it would be fine with or without. And then I accidentally did this and was like, oh, wow, actually she'd probably look really cool in like completely black dress. That looks kind of awesome. So you can use your imagination on that one. I also tried out like a splash of red, sort of taking an idea out of Kazuha's book. Oh, I guess I missed a gold thing. Oops. I wasn't quite sure if I liked it or not. I think it's interesting, but I think I just prefer the gold. But I think for a different character's design, then this could be interesting. Shrug. I also thought I'd show you what she looks like with different hair colors because I thought it was interesting. I think, where is it? Where's brown? There it is. I don't know, I think that looks fairly interesting. I guess you could say she looks a bit more like an NPC because she's got a normal hair color, but I don't know, I kind of like the brown contrast. Let's try like a pinkish color, just for funsies. Oh no, we're back to blue. Ooh. That's kind of nice. So then she doesn't look like Mona. I mean, even that I like a lot better than the pale blue. Now she looks even more like Miku. Or just straight up greenish. I think that's interesting, but we already got 2 new green-haired characters recently, so... But, I don't know, I think, like, literally any other color besides the original color looks good. Like, there's the original. I think it's okay, but just with the rest of the color scheme, especially without the dark tights, just picture her back with the normal skin color legs, then it's just so boring. Also, this is still where I have the pink eyes accidentally from when I was trying the red highlight thing. So I think she looks more interesting with the pink eyes, but still, like any other color with her hair and it would be far more interesting. So I also just added this like sheer-ish undershirt that matches her tights, and I think it gives her even more of a classic Genshin look, especially since I made it so the sleeve things connect to the fingers because they like to do weird glove things, and I kind of like that a lot because it contrasts even better with this white. It frames it really well. That sort of a greenish color, and then I changed it to that to just brighten it up and match that skirt, sort of make them stand out better. And then I decided to change it to that because I thought it would be interesting. Haha, it was a ploy all along to make her look like my avatar. Ha ha ha! Little did you know. Actually though, it kinda does. And now with just adding the undershirt and the tights and boosting the color of the gold and changing the eye color, let's see what it looks like with her normal hair color. Okay, so here's the original, or pretty close to the original, which I do think does look fine now that she has that dark undershirt and the dark tights. I think it works now. I think we can do that. She can get away with it. But let's just see what it looks like with some different hair colors. Alright, so in the end, I think it was really simple to be able to fix her. We didn't really do that much. And here she is with the alternate hair color. I'm fine with both versions now. Maybe it's just because I've been staring at her for so long, but I think they both look fine. In fact, with this light hair color, it now, I think, does look better with the light hair color because we have this contrasting shirt thing. But without that, I mean, I think it works either way. But overall, I think we have created a better, more cohesive design than the original. Here's the final comparisons. The version I did with the dark hair and skin bits, the layers, and the boosted eye color. Here it is with the same hair color, but everything else that I changed. And here it is with everything else changed without the hair color, but also with the pink eyes. I personally think this one, or even this one, are my favorite, but going along with the background, I included the background, so then we weren't making an unfair comparison, but I think dark hair contrasts much better with everything, and I am pleased with this redesign. Bye!